So first we have Catalonia, Spain, right? They want to depart from Spain, independence. They held the referendum. Essentially, they're saying, yeah, we're leaving. Spain saying, no, you can't leave. We're going to send the national police after you, you know. And I said, as soon as I saw that happening, before it even got to that point, I said, look, this is going to be one of them. Then there's going to be a second one. They're going to say, oh, they did it. We need to do it too. You got to remember, Catalonia is responsible for 1/5, 20% of Spain, the entire country, Spain's GDP. And in something else, it was 1/4 or 25%. I'm trying to think of what that was. But anyways, it's a cash cow. You can see why Spain doesn't want it to leave. And if it leaves, as I talked about the other day, hey, Spain, how are you going to make up for that massive loss? You got all those bills to pay. You got all that debt, son. How are you going to deal with that? So I said there's going to be other countries within the Eurozone especially, that have a similar situation and say, we are a cash cow too. They're sucking off us. We're producing all this stuff here. What the hell's going on? We don't want to. You're taxing us to death and bailouts for this one, bailouts for that one. European Union, we don't even get a vote. Unelected bureaucrats telling us what to do. I think it might be time to go. Spain Catalonia just did it. Let's look into it. So guess what? Another country that was on Cliff High's hot list for political banking crises, Italy. Italy, mentioned numerous times in Cliff's Webbot reports. This is from Zero Hedge. It could open a Pandora's box. Italy's 2 richest regions are voting in a historic autonomy referendum. Voters in Italy's 2 wealthiest. That's the key here. These wealthy regions. Why are we paying for everything? That's what this amounts to. Why are we paying for everything but have almost nothing to say towards any of this stuff, including other things that the government may or may not want to do? We have no say-so. Autonomy. We need some autonomy. So they're speaking. Voters in Italy's 2 wealthiest northern regions of Lombardy and Veneto are voting on Sunday, which is the day I'm doing this video, I believe it or not, in referendums for greater autonomy from Rome, in which a positive outcome could fan regional tensions in Europe at a time when neighboring Spain is cracking down to prevent Catalonia from breaking away. Lombardy, which includes Milan and Veneto, which houses the tourist powerhouse Venice, are home to around 1/4 of Italy's population and account for 30% of Italy's economy, the Eurozone's 3rd largest. Unlike Catalonia, the consultative votes are only the beginning of a process which could over time lead to powers being devolved from Rome. Also, unlike Catalonia, which held an independence referendum on October 1st, despite it being ruled unconstitutional, the Italian referendums are within the law. Like Catalonia, however, Lombardy and Veneto complain they pay far more in taxes than they receive. See? Like I said, didn't even read this yet. I already knew where this was going. Because that's the key. And this also could be taken into America for what we have to deal with. Middle class, upper middle class, whatever your status. Not poor, though, okay? Anybody but poor people. You're paying all the taxes. You're paying all the income tax, which I mean local, state taxes, federal taxes, whatever, plus income tax. Fee for this, fee for that, property tax hike, this hike. Meanwhile, again, Democrats push this. Let's bring the Mexicans in. Let's bring the illegals in. Let's bring whoever we can in. And who are they going to vote for? Democrat. So each time we allow people to come in, they're automatic Democratic voters. And they're getting handed stuff. Things that you would never qualify for. Hey, I just lost my job. Is your wife still working? Well, yeah, but I lost mine and we can't afford to pay the bills now. Yeah, but according to our metric, you don't qualify for any assistance. Oh, so she has to be dirt poor and I have to be dirt poor. And I could even have a side job under the table like they do. A lot of Mexicans do this. I'm just telling you, that's how it is in Florida. We have a lot of Mexicans that come over here. And the typical story is they are illegal, they work under the table, and their wives, whatever, kids, they get essentially free benefits while simultaneously having plenty of cash to spare because it's not reported. They're playing, not just playing, they're gaming the system. So this is the kind of response you get. Why are we paying so much for everything else? We get nothing back practically, hardly anything back. That's at a country level and regions within the country of Italy. But for the United States, now granted you could say, oh, Florida and this one and that one could secede, right. But we're not even kind of close to that kind of stuff. But this is on a personal level, a individual level. Why are we paying for everything in this country for all these people? And then these same people who are getting all the handouts are yelling at us, we're fascists and we're this and we're that and you rightists and, you deserve to die. Why? Because I'm telling you, you don't deserve your free crap that I have to pay for? Anyways, enough about America. Back to Italy. At its core, today's vote is about whether taxes collected in the two wealthy regions should be used far more for the benefit of the two regions or diluted among Italy's other, here we go, poorer regions. Especially in the south, Lombardy sends 54 billion euros more in taxes to Rome than it gets back in public spending. Veneto's net contributions is 15.5 billion. The two regions would like to roughly have those contributions, or 50%, a concession the cash-strapped state, laboring under a mountain of debt, cannot afford. The two big regions are, big as in monetarily, the two regions are both run by the once openly secessionist, Lega Nord, or Northern League Party, which hopes that the result will give it a mandate to negotiate better financial deals from Rome. The Northern League was established in the 1990s to campaign for an independent state of Padania, stretching across Italy's north from around Lombardy in the west to Venice in the east. It no longer campaigns for secession, but argues that taxes the North sends to Rome are wasted by inefficient national bureaucracy. In other words, back to America again. Massive spending waste, unprecedented waste of epic proportions. And someone saying, who's paying for that waste, would you guys stop making so much waste? Would you stop spending so much money and essentially giving it away to the world, giving it away to Israel, giving it away to everywhere for free? They get it for free, and I got to pay for it. It's the equivalent of us saying, can you just cut that in half? We don't even understand that you're going to do it. It doesn't make any sense, but could you at least cut it in half? We'll be okay with that. Just make a deal with us. But they can't. Half will crush it. They need it. They need every penny that they get from there. If they cut it in half, the rest of Italy doesn't get anything. Half of what it got, I should say. And if an average person, for example, in America, because I love America so much, has a $100,000 income, and they live in a normal house that a person making $100,000, family, we'll call it, family, husband and wife together earn $100,000. They can afford X kind of property, X kind of cars, etc., etc., etc. And that's how we roll in America, and that's pretty much how people roll across the world. You're going to live up to the standard of living you can afford, plain and simple. Whether that's lower middle class, upper middle class, wealthy, whatever, you're going to live at that threshold where you say, well, I don't have to live at the, on the edge, so to speak, although most of us Americans actually do. You could come down a little bit. We don't need that big of a house. Let's come down a little bit. Okay, I don't need that powerful or expensive of a car. Let's come down and, okay, we're good. And even if you do that, you can't afford to take a 50% haircut. Oh, my wife just lost her job. You can't afford the house and the 2 cars. It's done now. Now you're finished. Even though you weren't already on the edge, right? You weren't living up to the edge. You were backed off a couple notches. Doesn't matter. Half your income just got toasted. See ya. Boom. See ya. Out of here. You're in trouble. Which is why none of these countries are going to be like, okay, let's work on that. Well, that sounds like a good idea. They can't afford to take a freaking penny loss. While the twin referendums are non-binding, a resounding yes vote would give the presidents of the neighboring regions more leverage in negotiations to seek a greater share of tax revenue and to grab responsibility from Rome. The leaders want more powers in areas such as security, immigration. In other words, we don't want the freaking immigration, you're destroying our areas. Education and the environment, because that's what they're all saying. Every article that I read is about immigration. Not we want more say because we want more immigration. It's we want more say because you're flooding us with immigrants, North African immigrants. These people are assaulting people and everything else, and we don't want anything to do with it. That's what they're saying. Not give us more. Trust me, because if they wanted more, they wouldn't have to have this happen. They would just tell the EU or the country, in this case Italy, hey, send some more of those migrants up here our way. You know, we've got plenty of spots for them. You know, they're making cardboard box makeshift huts and half naked sleeping on the streets. It's really good for tourism. Bring a bunch of them over here. Thank you. Enthusiasm for today's vote will be critical as the level of turnout will have a direct significance of the results. In Veneto, it has to pass 50% for the result to be considered valid. There is no threshold in Lombardy, but low voter participation would weaken the region's hand in any subsequent negotiations with the central government. Even though secessionist sentiment in the two wealthy regions is restricted to what has been dubbed fringe groups with little following, nonetheless, both regions expected to vote in favor of the principle of greater autonomy. Analysts see the referendums as reflecting the pressures that resulted in Scotland's narrowly defeated independence vote, Britain's decision to leave the EU, and the Catalan crisis, according to AFP. And if this was just a little fringe group thing, it wouldn't be going to a freaking vote of the whole region. And we already saw what the polling crap from our mainstream media showed us. It's all fake. It is all fake. We polled today 1,000 people and 55% said, oh, that's funny. You got more 60% Democrats versus 40% Republicans polled. And you're telling us the Republicans edged it out at 52%. Huh. You don't say. And you could only do 1,000 people, huh? Couldn't find any more. 250, 60, whatever, million people. Or actually in America, what, we had 300 something? Whatever. Hundreds of millions of people, potentially. And that's the best we can do. 1,000 people polled. Wow. So, yeah. They say there's hardly anybody's, fringe groups, but is that really the case? I think we might find out that no, it's a whole lot more people. Because the news doesn't want you to know that. They want you to think it's just nonsense. It feels fringe elements within society want to hold a vote. If it was just the fringe elements, you wouldn't be able to have enough people to even go out there and vote, and much less get one, set up and on the schedule to go do on Sunday. What, 10 people show up? Come on. This is a movement. And it's not going to stop. The EU is going to break apart. Once again, David Wilkerson prophecy thing. It's going to happen, regardless of if that man ever existed or not, and the prophecy ever came out. It doesn't matter. The EU will break apart. You have unelected officials running the whole thing, massive immigration policies, which are horrible for the whole region, that have to be paid for, of course. And the people are already strapped, paying for other things. You got two regions like this one saying, hey, we're paying a ton of tax, we get hardly anything back, we need to have a talk. And Italy cannot afford to concede on any of that. They can't. Are you going to say, hey, you and your husband, you make 100, wife and husband make 100,000. We need you to knock off 50K. Whoa. I've got a house to pay for. I've got 2 cars to pay for. I've got a credit card to pay, average American or average person. I can't do it on 50K. Whoa. Right? In other words, I'm Italy. I'm the state, the country, excuse me. Concede, have discussions. There could be no discussions. We are living at the edge of our lifestyle, so to speak. I can't even take a few percent decline in revenue from you guys, much less 50%. Come on, let's chat. Let's chat about this. But the chat's going to be, no, I can't do anything. And they're saying, well, you've been blowing it all on your buddies and the lobbyists and all this wasteful spending. And we're going to have to vote with our wallet via this referendum. So, again, started with Spain. I told you, get ready. There'll be other countries following suit. Sure enough, it's only been a few weeks. Bang, here's Italy. 2 of the most wealthiest regions of Italy. Would you be willing to bet against me that there'll be some more coming? Other countries, quite possibly even other regions of the previous countries, such as Spain. You know, we could see that, because if Catalonia happens, and it's done, you know, as far as the independence thing, even though Spain's going to try to stop it, you know, we're declaring Article 155, whatever. And ultimately, hey, Spain did this and yap, but nothing actually happened. Catalonia actually is free now. Other parts of Spain that also contribute heavily to the Spanish government are going to say, well, now that Catalonia is gone, we're all going to have to foot the bill. Taxes, everything's going to raise for us all. And we're one of the wealthiest. We're now one of the wealthiest regions because Catalonia is gone. They're going to have to really up our ante. We don't like that. So, having said that, we're going to do what Catalonia did, right? We're just going to see how Catalonia went first, okay? And here's the thing. Maybe it doesn't even go that way. Maybe the strong arm of Spain forcefully takes back over Catalonia and just handles business like we expected. Violently, ruthlessly, and end of story kind of a thing. And then that'll tell the other areas, you want to try that? Hey, Italy, you guys want to try that too? You sure you want to do that? Of course, like they said, in Italy, it's legal for them to do this. But anyways, it's just, this is, again, I said this before, it's a movement. You can only squeeze somebody so hard before they pop. And believe me, they know when they're going to pop. So before they pop, and it's getting close, I need to do something about this. We need to get out of this situation. We need to, right? And the situation is, we were a part of this government, this country, whether it's Spain or Italy, pick your poison. And we've had enough. You're squeezing us to death. We can't take it anymore. We're leaving. End of story. The negotiation is, stop squeezing us. Matter of fact, take 50% of the pressure of your squeezing off of us, and we'll allow you to continue squeezing us 50%. Because we can deal with that. It doesn't really hurt. Now it's hurting. So, again, I can't do that, says the government, because we've got bills to pay. A lot of bills to pay. And you're going to take a huge amount of revenue away from us. We can't, like I said, can't even afford to take a few percentage points off. So, another day, another week, whatever, another country or part of a country, region of a country, saying we've had enough. Right? So this is not going to be a one-off or a two or three off now at this point, because there's two regions there. That's three separate regions, technically. One from Spain, two from Italy. That's three. Saying we've had enough. Take care.